I think I'm not used to meeting anyone,
Yeah, I get that.
but I need you. And I don't care where you live. I just want to be close to you as much as possible. I don't want to be practical. I want to figure it out. And I don't want so much time to pass that we can't come back. And I don't want.
Black love is a term that has defined the unspoken and unbreakable romantic bond between the black man and the black woman for many centuries. Depicted in films such as Queen and Slim and The Photograph, black love is raw, messy, and beautiful in its own right. In 2020, Essence magazine interviewed 10 couples on what their definition of black love was. Although each couple has their own definition based on their experiences, there was one couple's answer that I think can be used as a general understanding of the term. Black love is continuing the legacy of our culture while committing to the evolution of ourselves individually, as a partnership, and for our community. A healthy depiction of relationships within our culture and in the spaces where our ancestors may have not had the opportunities, such as through higher education, traveling, and new experiences. Black love has also been described as unwavering and having an almost ride or die dynamic. This has been shown quite literally in the film Queen and Slim, as a black couple, after having their first date, is forced to go on the run after unaliving a police officer in self defense. Queen is portrayed as a strong willed and independent woman, while Slim is depicted as reserved and more open to the possibility of love and connection. Throughout their journey to flee the country, Queen's skepticism and focus on survival clashes with Slim's faith and willingness to trust others. But through realizing that they're essentially the only people they can truly trust, they learn to embrace each other's flaws, loving each other completely. Now, obviously, if you know how the movie ends, Black love doesn't have to be that extreme. But the film is still an amazing depiction of the beauty that comes from the mutual understanding between the black man and the black woman. The photograph also portrays this dynamic in two different relationships. Christina and May struggle with maintaining their romantic relationships due to their independent nature and their internal problems with fully committing to their partners, even though they both want to. The black men, however, struggle with their lack of communication and fear of rejection. Michael ignoring May's calls after accepting a job in London, and Isaac failing to reach out to Christina after she leaves for New York. Both relationships depict black love in different ways. Isaac and Christina's relationship shows the complexities and challenges faced by black couples balancing the pursuit of their individual aspirations with their love for one another. Michael and May's story depicts the modern black couple as they navigate their feelings for one another while going through their own personal journeys. In 2017, the Oprah Winfrey Network began airing a docu-series called Black Love, which featured celebrities and non-celebrities who, along with their partners, discussed the uniqueness, passion, and hardships that come with having a healthy black love. The couples got real about how they first met. Some were already married when they met, having financial struggles, cheating, or dealing with the loss of a family member. It was especially surreal to hear celebrities get so candid about their personal experiences because, as consumers, we're so used to only seeing the perfectly curated side of Hollywood relationships.
I was afraid coming into marriage. I was afraid that I would lose myself. There were relationships that I had been in the past where I didn't feel like I lost myself, but I felt like I compromised to a place that wasn't realistic, that I could keep long term. And then I found myself being bitter and angry at the person as well. And so I had a lot of fear coming in, just like, I don't want to lose the Megan that's fun and free-spirited and a little bit crazy and bold and fearless and all these things, because I become docile, or I become, where I feel like someone's property.
Said your marriage doesn't start when you say I do. Your marriage starts when you look over at your partner and you want to kill them. You looking at them going for seconds or sometimes minutes or longer. You're thinking, I cannot believe I married this human being. They are driving me crazy. And then the next minute you say, I love them more than anything and I'm sticking with it.
Although it was surprising, it was honestly refreshing to know even the rich and famous deal with these issues as well. Throughout the show, we see that the very things that should have driven them apart ultimately made them closer. And it's what forced me to ask the question, what is Black love? And why should we continuously choose it if it brings so much pain? But that is Black love, pain. Our ancestors and even our parents were in relationships while fighting racism, broken homes, and trying to make something out of the little they were given to create a stable family unit. But despite the title of this video, I don't believe that Black love is extinct. However, today, that perspective of Black love is fading away. With the rise of 20v1s, pop the balloon videos, and the media's overconsumption of toxic Black love, Black people, specifically Black women who were once known as the least likely to date outside their race, are now drifting towards the hard wig, soft lifestyle, if you know what I mean. But I don't blame them. As a young Black girl who grew up in a broken home, I had already grown up with not only a negative outlook on love, but on Black love. I used to think that the main reason why Black love existed was because for a long time, that was our only option. But now that Black women are finally starting to be appreciated by other races and often fetishized, but that's a whole other video, we're finally starting to feel comfortable dating outside our race, which is an amazing thing. However, there are those who intentionally avoid Black love altogether simply because they believe it automatically comes with toxicity. But a healthy Black love is still attainable. And I know this because I witness it every day. As someone in a long term relationship with a Black man, I feel the unrelenting passion, devotion, and hardship that comes with Black love. But I do struggle in the same way Queen, May, and Christina struggle, the way that a lot of Black women struggle. It's the struggle of letting ourselves go, of being cared for instead of caring for ourselves. But why? Why do we as Black women constantly feel the need to be strong? Maybe it's because compared to our white counterparts, Black women are more likely to be the primary household breadwinner, yet are also more likely to reside in lower socioeconomic status communities, regardless of their own education or income. Black women are also more likely to hold frontline jobs with limited flexibility and experience discrimination and racial bias at every level of society. According to Yvette Kozier, an epidemiology professor at Boston University, the phrase strong Black woman evokes both myth and reality. The myth is of a proud, no nonsense woman who faces hardship with wisdom, but in the end, she must accept her fate. The reality is a proud woman who has no other choice but to persevere, survive. It can often be difficult to distinguish the two. While the strong Black woman archetype can inspire resilience and empowerment, it is often harmful. The expectation to be strong at all times can lead to the suppression of emotions and fear of being called crazy. This can lead to Black women feeling the need to handle everything on their own, leading them to feeling reluctant to ask for help, or in this case, for love. When the strong Black woman falls in love after taking care of herself for so long, she finds it difficult to be vulnerable and trusting, even though she desperately wants to. She wants to be taken care of and loved and protected, but she fears that she'll lose everything, including herself, if she lets her guard down. Now, while I can only imagine what it feels like to be a Black man in society, college professor and writer for Forbes magazine Maya Nagel Hoskin states that the foundation of this Black masculinity construct is laid early, with many Black men growing up believing their psychological and emotional health and wellness do not have an inherent or productive value to other members of the Black community or to society as a whole. Many Black men internalize the idea that their value lies in what they can contribute physically, such as through sports or performing physical labor, and that discussing or exploring psychological or emotional concerns is in direct contradiction to societal expectations. I believe that this is a problem that a lot of Black men face, struggling with vulnerability due to the internal belief that their mental health and emotions don't matter or make them weak. This can result in many Black men trying to hide or downplay their true feelings, whether it be in their romantic relationships or friendships. Now, I want to emphasize that obviously not all Black men and women are the same. We all have a variety of different issues that we deal with, individually and in a partnership. But whether we admit it or not, every Black person has felt the sting of racial inequality and has their own way of coping with it, whether it be keeping your guard up or suppressing your emotions so you don't feed into a stereotype. But it's the racial trauma and shared experience of discrimination that is at the root of the Black couple's bond. That's my definition of true Black love. Knowing that your partner will never give up on you and that they see you for all that you are, even when the world refuses to.